Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. I am your host, Jan Washington. This is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. I would like to extend my gratitude in you listening to this podcast. It means everything to me, and I hope it is clear that this subject matter is so important to me. I care about our people, our future, and making a positive change in this nation. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. Today I want to give you an update on a story we talked about earlier about Clifford Owensby from Dayton, Ohio. He was the disabled black man who was violently pulled out of his vehicle during a traffic stop. And then there's another case out of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, this traffic stop happened back in 2018, and the couple involved filed a lawsuit, and they just now are getting their settlement. It has to do with a violation of the Fourth Amendment, and it's a really powerful cautionary tale, so I do want to share that with you also. Clifford Owensby is now sharing his story of how the Dayton police violently arrested him last month, although he is a paraplegic, and violently pulled him out of his vehicle and dragged him during a traffic stop. New body cam police footage show the officers dragging Owensby out of the car, yanking him by his hair even as he shouted out for help. Owensby had his 3-year-old child in the backseat of the car at the time of the arrest. He has now filed a complaint with the Dayton's branch of the NAACP. The officer should be placed at least on administrative leave. And this is according to the president of the Dayton Unit NAACP, Derek Forward. Now, Derek Forward states that Owensby should be able to bring a case against Dayton police once all the evidence is collected. If you haven't seen this video, do a search for Clifford Owensby. It's fairly disturbing to watch, so I caution you, but it's really outrageous how he was treated. This is a disabled person. I mean, can we say a violation of civil rights and some other violations of Americans with Disabilities Act? I mean, I can't imagine the type of lawsuit he may have on his hands here, because it's just really inappropriate. Another thing that is interesting to share regarding this case is a statement from the mayor, Nanette Whaley. The video of this police interaction is very concerning. That is why immediately following this incident, the city released the body camera footage. Everyone involved is owed a thorough investigation, and one is already underway. This incident shows why our community-led police reform process, which includes providing transparency, is more important than ever. The goal is to always ensure our police force has the resources to do its job while treating all of its citizens with dignity. So that is from the mayor, Nanette Whaley. From the looks of the video, it appears that Mr. Clifford Owensby was not treated with dignity. I would say that. It would be safe to say that. So we will see what becomes of this matter, because, I definitely feel like some large change will come from this. And it should, because this is a really egregious act from these officers. Now, this next story out of Louisville, Kentucky. We have a lot of stories that come out of Louisville, Kentucky involving the police. I wonder why. So, a African American couple, was searched by the Louisville, Kentucky police after being pulled over on their way home from church. They just were awarded $75,000 by the city to settle a federal discrimination lawsuit. They were stopped by the police officers in 2018 after leaving church. The lawsuit was filed in 2019 on behalf of Anthony Parker, his 9-year-old son, and his girlfriend, Demetria Furman. And there is a footage of the incident on Roland Martin on YouTube if you want to check out what happens. And so they're pulled over because of a improper lane change and signal. And so come to find out, he did signal, and they asked him if they could search the vehicle. He agreed to the search, and so you see on their body camera footage that they're feverishly searching the vehicle. It's like, what are they looking for? And so he said that they were coming from church. His child was in the back seat with a Happy Meal or something, and they're just going through every nook and cranny of this car. The police asked them before if they had guns or drugs or guns or knives, and he's like, we don't have anything. And they're just looking for something, and so they don't find anything. And I guess they realized what was happening, and they finally let the couple go, and they filed a lawsuit. And in the lawsuit that Parker and Furman filed, it claimed that the police improperly pulled them over because they were black and were driving a nice car in a designated target neighborhood of the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department. And they were removed from the car and frisked. They searched him up and down. They didn't even get a ticket. So it certainly was quite excessive, but it seems like that settlement might have been a little low for what they experienced. In addition to the $75,000 settlement that the city agreed to pay the couple on September 9th, it came along with stipulations that officials acknowledge no wrongdoing whatsoever, and the plaintiffs refrain from disparaging the police officers in any way. So they cannot make any statements saying how they felt or making any comments whatsoever. So it's very interesting that they put that particular type of language in this matter in the wake of Breonna Taylor. It just seems really interesting that those were stipulations. It seems like whoever was assisting them or advising them should have, upped the ante, because what they went through was worth more than $75,000. It really was. But the kicker, or the point that I wanted to stress, was that this was a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And so experts were discussing this on the Roland Martin show, that when you're pulled over, the Fourth Amendment. So this is important for knowing your rights, right? And to just clarify what the Fourth Amendment represents, it protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. And so you may ask, can the police search your vehicle? So under the Fourth Amendment law, also known as the automobile exception, these are the circumstances when the police can search your vehicle. You have given consent. The officer has probable cause to believe there's evidence of a crime in your vehicle. The officer believes a search is necessary for their own protection, or the officer has a valid search warrant, or you have been arrested. So those are the circumstances where a police can search your vehicle. You have the right to say no, and you have the right to remain silent and not allow them to search your vehicle. In this particular case, the gentleman allowed them to search the vehicle. So I thought that was interesting to share. And you may say, why is this important? Because it can happen to us. It can happen to me. It can happen to you or someone we know. And so it's important that we share the knowledge, right? All right. So let's be encouraged, and thank you for listening.
At this time, we are going to go ahead and conclude this episode. We do appreciate you listening. We do invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. The Gmail is wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And we are available on all of your favorite streaming platforms. Please go out and follow us, share, leave a review, tell a friend. And every time you listen, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you again, and take care.